Imagine you have been stuck in a massive group project for years. The work is falling behind, your partners have stopped pulling their weight, and eventually you realize the only way to pass is to break away and finish the presentation yourself. That is the exact situation currently facing the South African Communist Party. After decades of operating inside a political alliance, they have decided to step out and contest the 2026 municipal elections entirely on their own. This represents a big change. For 30 years, the SACP has acted as the historical partner to the governing African National Congress, bringing deep revolutionary roots to the country's leadership. But patience on the ground has run out. Youth unemployment in South Africa currently sits at 46%, leaving millions of people feeling completely disconnected and politically homeless. At the local level, the structures of daily life are failing. Over the last decade, reliable access to clean water and electricity has dropped drastically across many municipalities. Faced with this reality, the SACP is leaving the group project. They are stepping away from the current alliance to offer voters a completely separate blueprint for running cities. The core disagreement comes down to who should hold the keys to the economy. The SACP believes the government should own and manage the country's resources directly. This clashes with the current government's approach, which relies on private businesses to handle essential services. This diagram shows exactly why they disagree. Under the current system, the state often steps back, relying on private companies to solve public problems. The SACP argues the state should be the primary engine, providing resources directly to the people. You can see this tension play out on the streets of struggling cities. Instead of hiring municipal workers to fix roads or collect trash, local governments frequently hire outside contractors. Private labor brokers insert themselves into the process. As middlemen, they extract profit directly from funds meant for essential public workers. The SACP argues that as long as someone is trying to make a private profit off of a public need, cities will never function properly. To fix this, the party has outlined a specific three-part plan for the upcoming municipal elections. First is insourcing. This means removing the labor brokers entirely and offering stable, direct government jobs to the people who actually clean and maintain the city. Second, they want to expand Social Security. Instead of temporary grants that only apply to some people, the party is pushing for a permanent, universal basic income to guarantee a baseline of survival for everyone. Third, they want the state to take the lead on development. A key proposal here is creating a democratically controlled state bank, designed specifically to fund affordable housing for people left out by commercial lenders. They also plan to apply this state-led approach to essential utilities, taking local water and energy infrastructure away from private developers and putting it back under community control. Add these up, and the 2026 playbook is clear. Take the power and the budgets away from corporate contractors and hand them directly back to the state and the community. But there is a problem with this pitch. While the SACP protests the national government's policies, several of their own senior leaders serve right now in the cabinet of that exact same government. There is also the issue of trust. The party has faced difficult questions involving the VBS Mutual Bank looting scandal, where nearly 2 billion rand was taken, devastating local depositors and funeral societies. The SACP leadership denies receiving any bribes from the bank. Moving forward, they promise to apply strict iron discipline to thoroughly check the background of anyone running under their name. To move past this history, the party knows they have to reach a new generation of voters who feel entirely disconnected from traditional politics. They are changing tactics, moving away from slow speeches. Instead, they are leaning into fast-paced digital videos on platforms like TikTok, focusing on human stories from activists working directly in the streets. Ultimately, their pitch to the voter comes down to 3 promises: stable work instead of insecure short-term contracts, affordable access to water and power through state ownership, and honest governance through direct community oversight. The question for 2026 is simple. Can a century-old revolutionary movement successfully step out of the shadows and actually run a modern city?